Do you ever feel like you're always chasing success, yet never truly achieving mastery? Like there's always more to do, more to learn, but you're not fully present in the journey? What if I told you that the secret to success isn't in rushing to the finish line, it's in mastering the process itself? Hey everyone, welcome back to Book Navigator, and today we're diving into a book that can transform the way you think about success, growth, and your everyday routine. It's called The Practicing Mind by Thomas M. Sterner. In this video, you will master all 17 learnings of this book with real-life example and the example explained in this book by author. You will master each concept in depth. If you've ever felt stuck focusing too much on your end goals and not enough on the process, this book will be your guide to real transformation. Stick around till the end, because I'll be sharing actionable tips straight from the book that can help you master any skill, big or small. Learning 1. Focus on the process, not the outcome. In The Practicing Mind, Thomas M. Sterner emphasizes the importance of shifting our focus from the outcome to the process itself. Many of us spend most of our time obsessing over the end result, whether it's achieving a goal, mastering a skill, or completing a task. This fixation creates unnecessary pressure, frustration, and even self-doubt when things don't go as planned. Sterner argues that true fulfillment and progress come when we immerse ourselves fully in the process. Take, for example, the story of a piano student. Instead of enjoying the process of learning each note, practicing scales, and slowly building proficiency, the student becomes consumed by the thought of playing their favorite song perfectly. This creates stress and a sense of inadequacy whenever they make a mistake or feel they're not progressing fast enough. Sterner explains that this mindset leads to frustration and often results in abandoning the practice altogether. The solution? Reframe your approach. Sterner suggests focusing on the practice itself, playing each note with attention and care. By immersing yourself in the present moment, the act of practice becomes meditative and rewarding. Over time, progress happens naturally, and the desired outcome is achieved without the pressure of constant self-evaluation. In real life, this applies to any skill or goal. Consider someone trying to lose weight. Instead of obsessing over the number on the scale, they should focus on adopting healthy habits, enjoying their workouts, preparing nutritious meals, and celebrating small milestones like feeling more energetic or running longer distances. The end result, a healthier body, becomes a byproduct of enjoying the process. Sterner reminds us that life itself is a process, and by focusing on the present moment, we not only improve our skills, but also find joy and fulfillment in the journey. Learning 2. Mindfulness enhances practice. Mindfulness, or being fully present in the moment, is a cornerstone of the practicing mind. Sterner highlights that when we practice anything without mindfulness, we risk turning it into a mindless, mechanical activity. This not only hampers growth, but also makes the practice feel tedious. By practicing with mindfulness, we engage our full attention, making the process more effective and enjoyable. Sterner shares his experience as a piano tuner, a task that requires extreme precision and focus. When he approached tuning mindlessly, his work felt monotonous, and mistakes were more frequent. However, when he became fully present in the act, paying attention to each sound, each adjustment, he not only improved his skills, but also found a sense of peace and satisfaction in the work. For a modern example, consider someone learning yoga. Many people rush through poses, treating the practice as a checklist of movements. This often leads to frustration or even injury. However, a mindful approach, focusing on each breath, each stretch, and the way the body feels, turns yoga into a transformative experience. Progress happens naturally, and the individual begins to enjoy the practice for its own sake. Sterner explains that mindfulness isn't just about practice, but about life itself. When you approach your daily tasks with awareness, whether it's cooking, writing, or even cleaning, you cultivate a sense of calm and purpose. Over time, this practice reshapes your mindset, making mindfulness a natural part of your life. Learning 3. Progress over perfection. One of the most liberating lessons from the practicing mind is that perfection is a myth. Sterner emphasizes that striving for perfection from the beginning is not only unrealistic but also counterproductive. Progress, not perfection, should be the goal. He shares the example of a golfer trying to improve their swing. Instead of expecting every shot to be perfect, the golfer should focus on small, incremental improvements. By analyzing each swing, instead of expecting every shot to be perfect, the golfer should focus on small, incremental improvements. By analyzing each swing, understanding what went wrong, and making slight adjustments, progress becomes steady and attainable. In real life, this can be seen in the journey of a writer. Many aspiring authors abandon their work because they feel their first drafts aren't perfect. Sterner would advise them to embrace the process of rewriting, editing, and improving over time. The first draft is just a starting point, and every revision brings them closer to their best work. This principle also applies to personal growth. For example, someone trying to build a habit of meditation might feel discouraged when their mind keeps wandering. Instead of giving up, they should celebrate the fact that they're showing up for practice. With time and consistency, their focus will improve, and the benefits of meditation will manifest naturally. Sterner encourages us to redefine our relationship with mistakes. Each error is an opportunity to learn and grow. By shifting our focus from being perfect to making progress, we develop resilience, patience, and a deeper appreciation for the learning journey. Learning 4. Patience is key. Sterner highlights that patience is an essential ingredient for mastery. In today's fast-paced world, we're conditioned to expect quick results. However, true growth and skill development take time. Just like a tree needs years to grow strong and tall, we need to give ourselves the time and space to evolve. Sterner recounts his experience learning to play the piano. At first, he felt frustrated by the slow progress. But when he shifted his focus to enjoying each practice session, he discovered that progress came naturally over time. By embracing patience, he not only improved his skills, but also began to enjoy the process itself. Consider the example of someone training for a marathon. It's impossible to go from running a mile to running 26 miles overnight. The journey involves months of training, gradual increases in distance, and overcoming setbacks like injuries or fatigue. Sterner would argue that patience, combined with consistent effort, is what makes the final achievement so rewarding. Patience also applies to personal goals, like building a business or learning a language. Success doesn't happen overnight, but with persistence and trust in the process, you'll eventually see the results of your hard work. Sterner's message is clear. Impatience only creates stress and hinders progress. By cultivating patience, we free ourselves from unnecessary pressure and allow the natural rhythm of growth to take its course. Learning 5. Consistency over intensity. Sterner stresses the importance of consistency in practice rather than relying on intense bursts of effort. True mastery comes from showing up every day and making small, steady improvements over time. Consistency builds habits, while intensity often leads to burnout. Consistency creates momentum. Consider someone who wants to run a marathon. Running 20 kilometers on a single day won't prepare them. However, running 3 to 5 kilometers every day builds stamina, strength, and confidence over weeks and months. The key lies in persistence, even when progress feels slow. Consistency also applies to mental disciplines. For example, if you're trying to build a meditation habit, doing 5 to 10 minutes daily is far more effective than meditating for an hour sporadically. It's the act of repeatedly engaging with the practice that creates lasting change. Stirner highlights how small, repeated actions compound over time, leading to significant transformation. Stirner recounts his journey of learning to play the piano. Initially, he practiced for long, grueling hours, which led to frustration and fatigue. Over time, he shifted to shorter, consistent practice sessions. This approach not only reduced stress, but also accelerated his progress, as his skills improved gradually without overwhelming him. Actionable takeaways. Create a routine. Set a specific time each day for your practice, whether it's exercise, learning a new skill, or personal development. Start small. Focus on achievable daily goals. For example, commit to writing 200 words daily instead of aiming to finish an entire chapter in one sitting. Track your progress. Keep a journal or log to record your efforts and improvements. This reinforces the habit and keeps you motivated. Learning 6. Separate yourself from the result. The sixth key. Learning from the practicing mind emphasizes the importance of detaching your sense of self-worth from the results you achieve. Thomas M. Stirner argues that when we equate our identity and happiness with external outcomes, we set ourselves up for frustration, anxiety, and dissatisfaction. Instead, we should focus on the effort we're putting into the process, allowing us to experience growth, fulfillment, and true success. This principle is particularly relevant in a world obsessed with instant gratification and external validation. Whether it's academic grades, professional achievements, or even personal milestones, people often believe that their value lies in the results they produce. Stirner urges us to separate our self-identity from these outcomes, teaching us to find peace and satisfaction in the process itself. Why detachment matters. When you tie your self-worth to results, you're giving external factors control over your happiness. This mindset can lead to constant anxiety because outcomes are not always under your control. By focusing on the process instead of the result, you reclaim your agency and eliminate unnecessary stress. Stirner explains that detachment doesn't mean a lack of ambition or drive. On the contrary, it enhances your performance. When you're not overly attached to the outcome, you can concentrate fully on the task at hand, leading to better results. Detachment also fosters resilience, allowing you to bounce back from failures and setbacks because your sense of self isn't tied to them. Stirner shares a personal anecdote about his journey in learning the piano. Early in his practice, he was fixated on mastering a piece perfectly. His focus on achieving a flawless performance caused him to become frustrated with every mistake, which ultimately hindered his progress. He realized that his attachment to the result, the perfect rendition, was preventing him from truly engaging with the process of learning. To shift his mindset, Stirner started approaching each practice session with curiosity and patience. He reminded himself that the act of practicing, not the final performance, was the real goal. By focusing on improving incrementally with each session and letting go of the need to achieve perfection, he began to enjoy the process. Over time, this shift not only reduced his frustration, but also made him a better pianist. This example illustrates how detachment from the outcome doesn't mean lowering your standards or giving up on excellence. Instead, it means shifting your perspective so that the process itself becomes rewarding, regardless of the result. Practical applications in daily life. One professional life. Imagine working on a big project at your job. If you tie your self-worth to how your boss or colleagues react to the final product, you're setting yourself up for unnecessary stress. Instead, focus on the effort you're putting into creating something valuable. Whether or not the project is met with applause, you'll know you gave your best. 2. Fitness goals. Many people get discouraged when they don't see immediate results from their fitness routines. Instead of obsessing over the number on the scale, focus on the effort you're putting in, whether it's showing up at the gym or eating balanced meals. When you detach from the result and enjoy the process, you're more likely to stay consistent and ultimately achieve your goals. 3. Relationships. In personal relationships, detaching from outcomes can foster healthier dynamics. Instead of constantly seeking validation or trying to control how others respond to you, focus on being a kind and supportive partner, friend, or family member. By doing this, you free yourself from the stress of unmet expectations. How to practice detachment. 1. Shift your focus to effort. Celebrate the effort you're putting into your work rather than the result it produces. Example. If you're learning to paint, don't worry about whether the final piece is good enough to display. Focus on how much you're learning with each brushstroke. 2. Redefine success. Success isn't about achieving a specific outcome, it's about personal growth and mastery. Example. If you're writing a book, redefine success as completing each chapter rather than focusing solely on publishing. 3. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness helps you stay present and engaged in the process. It reminds you that each moment spent practicing is valuable, regardless of the result. Example. While practicing a musical instrument, pay attention to the sound of each note and how it feels to play, rather than worrying about mastering the entire piece. 4. Accept imperfections. Understand that mistakes and setbacks are part of the learning process. Example. If you're learning a new sport, don't get discouraged by missed shots. Each mistake is an opportunity to improve. Detaching from results has profound psychological and emotional benefits. It reduces performance anxiety, making it easier to take risks and embrace challenges. It also fosters a growth mindset, as you begin to see mistakes and setbacks as opportunities for learning rather than failures. Moreover, this principle teaches you to find joy and fulfillment in the present moment. When you're not constantly worrying about future outcomes, you can fully engage with and appreciate the here and now. This not only enhances your performance, but also improves your overall quality of life. Consider the story of a marathon runner preparing for their first race. If they're fixated on finishing with a specific time, they might become discouraged during training if they don't hit their target pace. However, if they focus on the effort, showing up for every training run, improving their endurance gradually, and enjoying the act of running, they're more likely to stay motivated and reach the finish line. In the end, the runner may or may not achieve their desired time, but they will have gained something more valuable: discipline, resilience, and a love for the process of running. The power of detachment. Stirner's lesson on separating yourself from the result is a powerful reminder to focus on what truly matters: the effort, growth, and experience gained through practice. Detachment doesn't mean giving up on goals or ambition. It means finding fulfillment in the journey rather than tying your happiness to external outcomes. When you apply this principle, you'll not only perform better, but also experience a deeper sense of peace and satisfaction. By focusing on the process and letting go of the need for immediate results, you'll discover that success isn't something you achieve. It's something you embody every step of the way. Learning 7. Embrace the beginner's mindset. One of the most profound lessons from the practicing mind is the importance of embracing the beginner's mindset. This concept encourages us to approach every task with curiosity, humility, and a willingness to learn. A beginner's mindset allows you to see opportunities for growth, accept mistakes as part of the process, and stay motivated even when progress feels slow. Thomas M. Sterner emphasizes that no one is born a master. Every expert, regardless of their field, starts as a beginner. The key to mastery lies in understanding and appreciating the learning journey itself rather than rushing to become an expert. This mindset fosters patience, resilience, and openness to new experiences. What is the beginner's mindset? The beginner's mindset is a state of openness and eagerness to learn, without being constrained by preconceived notions or the fear of failure. It's about letting go of the pressure to be perfect and embracing the process of discovery. When you adopt this mindset, you're more likely to experiment without fear of making mistakes. Stay curious and ask questions. Learn from setbacks rather than being discouraged by them. Why we lose the beginner's mindset. As we grow older or gain experience, we often become less willing to embrace being a novice. Society tends to reward expertise and perfection, making us afraid to admit when we don't know something. This fear of looking incompetent can hold us back from trying new things or improving existing skills. Sterner argues that this mindset is a barrier to growth. True mastery requires the humility to start at the beginning and the courage to keep learning, even when progress is slow or challenging. In the book, Sterner shares an anecdote about learning to play golf. At first, he was frustrated by his lack of skill and overly focused on achieving immediate results. However, when he shifted his perspective and embraced the beginner's mindset, his attitude changed. Instead of getting upset about missed shots, Sterner began to view each swing as an opportunity to learn. He started asking questions like, "What went wrong with this shot? How can I adjust my technique next time?" This curiosity and openness to learning not only improved his performance, but also made the process more enjoyable. The value of embracing mistakes. Mistakes are often viewed as failures, but in reality, they're an essential part of growth. Sterner emphasizes that every error provides valuable feedback that can guide your improvement. For instance, a beginner pianist might struggle with hitting the wrong notes during practice. Instead of becoming discouraged, they can analyze their mistakes to identify areas of improvement, such as hand positioning or rhythm. This iterative process of learning and adjusting is what leads to mastery. Real-life application of the beginner's mindset 1. Learning a new skill. Imagine you're learning a new language. At first, you might struggle with pronunciation, grammar, or vocabulary. If you expect to speak fluently right away, you'll likely feel frustrated and want to give up. However, if you embrace the beginner's mindset, you'll focus on small wins, like learning a new phrase or correctly pronouncing a word, and see each mistake as a stepping stone to fluency. 2. Starting a new job. In a new job, it's natural to feel overwhelmed by the learning curve. Rather than trying to prove yourself immediately, approach your role with curiosity and a willingness to learn. Ask questions, observe how experienced colleagues work, and allow yourself the time to grow into the position. 3. Trying a creative hobby. If you've ever tried painting, you know that your first attempts might not look like masterpieces. But instead of focusing on creating something perfect, enjoy the process of experimenting with colors and techniques. Over time, your skills will improve and you'll discover your unique style. How to cultivate the beginner's mindset 1. Start with humility. Recognize that everyone starts somewhere. Accept that you don't need to be perfect right away. 2. Stay curious. Ask questions explore new approaches, and remain open to feedback. Curiosity keeps the learning process exciting and engaging. 3. Focus on the process. Shift your focus from the end goal to the steps you're taking to get there. Celebrate small milestones and enjoy each stage of learning. 4. Reframe mistakes. View mistakes as valuable feedback rather than failures. Each error is an opportunity to refine your skills and deepen your understanding. 5. Practice patience. Mastery takes time. Be patient with yourself and trust that consistent effort will lead to progress. The psychological benefits of a beginner's mindset. Adopting a beginner's mindset has profound psychological benefits. Reduces anxiety. By letting go of the need to be perfect, you'll feel less pressure and more freedom to experiment. Increases resilience. When you view challenges as opportunities to learn, setbacks become less discouraging. Enhances creativity. A beginner's mindset encourages you to think outside the box and explore new possibilities. Consider someone who decides to take up photography. At first, they might struggle with understanding camera settings, framing, and lighting. If they're focused solely on producing stunning images right away, they're likely to feel frustrated and give up. However, if they embrace the beginner's mindset, they'll see each photo as an experiment. They'll take the time to learn the basics, practice different techniques, and analyze their results. Over time, this approach will not only improve their skills, but also deepen their appreciation for the art of photography. Challenges of embracing the beginner's mindset. While the beginner's mindset is valuable, it can be challenging to maintain, especially in a culture that prioritizes expertise and instant results. Stirner acknowledges these difficulties and offers strategies to overcome them, such as reminding yourself that progress is more important than perfection, surrounding yourself with supportive people who encourage growth rather than perfection, taking breaks to reflect on how far you've come. Embracing the beginner's mindset is about seeing every moment as an opportunity to learn and grow. It's about letting go of the fear of failure and approaching life with curiosity and humility. Stirner's message is clear. No matter where you are on your journey, there's always more to learn. By adopting the beginner's mindset, you'll not only improve your skills, but also rediscover the joy and excitement of learning. So, whether you're starting a new hobby, pursuing a career goal, or simply trying to improve yourself, remember, every master was once a beginner. Embrace the process, stay curious, and enjoy the journey. Learning 8. Discipline your thoughts. One of the central themes in The Practicing Mind by Thomas M. Stirner is the idea of disciplining your thoughts. Stirner explains that the mind is like a muscle. It can be trained, strengthened, and controlled. Without discipline, our thoughts tend to wander, become negative, or fixate on unnecessary worries, which hinders our progress and productivity. Learning to focus your thoughts intentionally is essential for mastering any skill or achieving any goal. This principle is not just about concentration. It's about creating mental clarity, developing self-awareness, and learning to direct your energy toward what truly matters. A disciplined mind is calm, focused, and resilient, even in the face of challenges. Understanding thought discipline. The human mind is naturally restless. Stirner likens it to a wild horse. Without training, it roams freely and uncontrollably. However, with practice and intention, we can guide our thoughts to stay present and productive. Thought discipline involves 3 key elements. Awareness. Recognizing when your mind starts to drift or spiral into negativity. Intention. Choosing to redirect your thoughts toward constructive or meaningful ideas. Consistency. practicing this redirection repeatedly until it becomes second nature. Why is thought discipline important? When our thoughts are undisciplined, we waste energy on distractions, feel overwhelmed by negative emotions like frustration or impatience, struggle to stay present in the moment, which hampers learning and productivity. On the other hand, a disciplined mind allows us to stay focused on the task at hand, approach challenges with a calm and positive attitude, make steady progress toward our goals. Stirner emphasizes that mastering your thoughts is the foundation for mastering your life. Stirner shares a story from his time as a piano tuner. The process of tuning a piano requires immense focus, as each string must be adjusted with precision. Early in his career, he found his mind wandering to thoughts like, "How much longer will this take?" Or, "What if I mess up?" These distractions slowed him down and made the task feel stressful. When he began practicing thought discipline, he shifted his focus entirely to the present moment. Instead of worrying about the time or the outcome, he concentrated on the sound of each note and the movement of his hands. This not only improved his efficiency, but also made the process more enjoyable. Real-life applications of thought discipline. 1. Studying for exams. Imagine a student preparing for a competitive exam. It's easy for their mind to drift into anxiety, worrying about the results or comparing themselves to others. By disciplining their thoughts, they can redirect their focus to the material they're studying. For example, instead of thinking, "I'll never cover everything," they can tell themselves, "Let me focus on this chapter right now." 2. Overcoming workplace stress. In a demanding job, it's common to feel overwhelmed by deadlines or the sheer volume of tasks. A disciplined mind helps you break down the work into smaller, manageable steps. For instance, instead of worrying about completing an entire project, you focus on finishing one section at a time. 3. Managing personal relationships. In arguments or conflicts, our thoughts often spiral into blame or defensiveness. Thought discipline allows us to pause, reflect, and respond calmly instead of reacting impulsively. Techniques to discipline your thoughts. 1. Mindfulness. Practice. Mindfulness is the art of being present in the moment. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, or simply observing your surroundings can help you stay grounded. Stirner suggests setting aside a few minutes each day to practice mindfulness, as this trains your mind to focus. 2. Use positive self-talk. Replace negative or wandering thoughts with positive affirmations. For example, instead of thinking, "I can't do this," tell yourself, "I'm making progress, one step at a time." 3. Set clear intentions. Before starting any task, take a moment to set an intention. For instance, if you're practicing a musical instrument, your intention could be, "I will focus on improving this one section today." 4. Practice. Single tasking. Multitasking scatters your thoughts and energy. Instead, focus on one task at a time, giving it your full attention. 5. Journal your thoughts. Writing down your thoughts can help you identify patterns of distraction or negativity. Once you're aware of these patterns, you can work on redirecting them. The science behind thought discipline. Stirner's ideas align with scientific research on neuroplasticity, which shows that the brain can rewire itself through repeated practice. When you discipline your thoughts consistently, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with focus and self-control. Over time, this makes it easier to stay calm and focused, even in challenging situations. For example, athletes use visualization techniques to train their minds. A basketball player might mentally rehearse making free throws, imagining every detail of the shot. This not only improves their performance, but also trains their mind to stay focused under pressure. Consider someone learning to play the guitar. At first, they might feel frustrated by the difficulty of switching chords or strumming correctly. Their mind might wander to thoughts like, "I'll never be good at this," or "Why am I so slow?" With thought discipline, they can redirect these negative thoughts into constructive ones. "I'm improving with every practice session." "This chord was easier to play than yesterday." By focusing on small wins and staying present during practice, they'll not only progress faster, but also enjoy the process more. Challenges of disciplining your thoughts. While thought discipline is powerful, it's not easy to master. Stirner acknowledges that setbacks are inevitable. There will be days when distractions feel overwhelming or when negative thoughts take over. The key is to approach these moments with patience and self-compassion. Instead of criticizing yourself for losing focus, gently guide your thoughts back to the present moment. Remember, thought discipline is a skill that improves with practice. Disciplining your thoughts is not just about improving productivity. It's about transforming the way you approach life. When you learn to control your thoughts, you gain clarity and focus, reduce stress and anxiety, build resilience in the face of challenges. Stirner's message is clear. Your mind is your greatest tool, but it needs training to work effectively. By practicing thought discipline, you can unlock your full potential and approach every task with calm, confidence, and intention. So, whether you're learning a new skill, managing a busy schedule, or pursuing personal growth, remember, the power to succeed lies in your ability to master your thoughts. Take control of your mind, and you'll take control of your journey. Learning 9. Let go of impatience. Impatience is a universal human trait. It manifests when we desire immediate results or when we become frustrated with the pace of progress. In The Practicing Mind, Thomas M. Stirner emphasizes that impatience not only disrupts the flow of learning, but also creates unnecessary stress and anxiety. Letting go of impatience is essential to mastering any skill or achieving long-term success. Stirner argues that impatience stems from focusing too much on the future, the end goal, rather than staying present in the process. He suggests that cultivating patience requires a mindset shift, appreciating where you are right now and trusting the journey. Understanding impatience. Impatience arises when there's a mismatch between our expectations and reality. For example, you expect to learn a new skill in weeks, but it takes months. You want to see visible results from your efforts, but progress feels slow. You compare yourself to others who seem to achieve faster success. These scenarios create frustration and make us question our abilities. Impatience can lead to a loss of motivation, poor decision-making due to rushing, stress and burnout. Letting go of impatience doesn't mean lowering your goals. It means accepting the natural pace of growth and focusing on consistent effort. The impact of impatience on practice. Impatience disrupts the learning process in several ways. Loss of focus. When you're impatient, your mind is preoccupied with the future rather than the task at hand. This lack of focus hinders progress. Negative emotions. Impatience breeds frustration, which can lead to giving up altogether. Rushed efforts. Impatience makes you prioritize speed over quality, leading to mistakes and setbacks. Stirner emphasizes that the antidote to impatience is mindfulness, staying fully engaged with the current step, rather than worrying about how much more needs to be done. Stirner uses the analogy of drawing a bowstring to explain impatience. When you draw a bow, you must focus on the process, steadying your hand, aiming at the target and controlling your breath. If you rush and release the arrow prematurely, you'll miss the mark. Similarly, in life, impatience leads to hurried actions that often result in failure or dissatisfaction. By focusing on the act of drawing the bow and enjoying the process, you naturally increase your chances of hitting the target. The lesson here is clear. Mastery requires patience, precision, and presence. Real-life applications of patience. 1. Learning a musical instrument. Imagine a beginner learning to play the violin. The initial sounds may be unpleasant, and progress might feel excruciatingly slow. Impatient learners often quit because they focus on how far they are from playing beautifully. A patient learner, on the other hand, embraces the process. They focus on improving one note, one scale, or one technique at a time. Over months of consistent practice, their skill evolves naturally. 2. Fitness and weight loss. Many people expect quick results when they start exercising or dieting. When the scale doesn't immediately reflect their efforts, they feel discouraged. A patient approach involves celebrating small milestones, like running longer distances or lifting heavier weights, rather than obsessing over instant results. 3. Career growth. In professional life, impatience often leads to dissatisfaction. For example, a young employee might expect rapid promotions and recognition. When progress feels slow, they might lose motivation or switch jobs hastily. Patience involves focusing on skill development and trusting that consistent effort will lead to long-term rewards. How to cultivate patience. 1. Shift your perspective. Instead of seeing the journey as an obstacle, view it as an opportunity for growth. Stirner encourages readers to ask themselves, "What am I learning right now?" This question shifts your focus from frustration to curiosity. 2. Break goals into smaller steps. Large goals can feel overwhelming, making you impatient for results. Break them down into smaller, manageable tasks. Celebrate each small win to stay motivated. 3. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness trains your brain to focus on the present moment. When practicing a skill or completing a task, immerse yourself fully in the process without worrying about the outcome. 4. Reframe mistakes as learning opportunities. Mistakes are inevitable in any learning journey. Instead of seeing them as setbacks, view them as valuable lessons. Stirner explains that mistakes are proof you're pushing your boundaries and growing. 5. Trust the process. Remind yourself that mastery takes time. Whether it's learning a new language, starting a business, or pursuing a passion, trust that your consistent efforts will pay off. Scientific insights on patience. Stirner's philosophy aligns with psychological studies on delayed gratification. For instance, the famous Stanford marshmallow experiment revealed that children who could delay gratification for a larger reward tended to perform better in life. This experiment highlights the importance of resisting the urge for immediate results. Patience is not just a virtue, it's a skill that can be developed with practice. Gardening provides a perfect metaphor for patience. When you plant a seed, you don't expect it to bloom overnight. You water it daily, ensure it gets sunlight, and protect it from pests. Over weeks or months, the seed grows into a plant. Similarly, in life, progress is often invisible in the early stages. The work you're putting in, whether it's studying, practicing, or building a skill, is like watering a seed. Patience ensures you stay consistent even when results aren't immediately visible. Challenges of letting go of impatience. Letting go of impatience is easier said than done. Modern society's obsession with instant gratification makes it difficult to stay patient. Social media amplifies this by showcasing the highlights of others' lives, making us feel like we're falling behind. Sterner advises against comparing yourself to others. Instead, focus on your unique journey. Remember, everyone progresses at their own pace, and there's no one-size-fits-all timeline for success. The rewards of patience. Patience doesn't just make the journey more enjoyable, it also leads to better outcomes. When you let go of impatience, you become more focused and present. You develop resilience and emotional stability. You achieve higher quality results because you're not rushing. In the long run, patience allows you to appreciate the process of growth, making every step of the journey meaningful. Impatience is a natural human tendency, but it doesn't have to control you. By practicing mindfulness, focusing on the present, and trusting the process, you can let go of impatience and embrace a more peaceful, productive mindset. As Sterner beautifully puts it, the process of practicing itself is the reward. When you learn to enjoy the journey, the destination becomes a natural byproduct of your efforts. So the next time you feel impatience creeping in, take a deep breath, redirect your focus, and remind yourself, progress, not perfection, is the ultimate goal. Learning 10. Balance goals and present action. In The Practicing Mind, Thomas M. Sterner emphasizes that while having clear goals is essential for direction and motivation, focusing too much on the destination can rob us of the joy and growth embedded in the journey. The secret to achieving lasting success lies in striking a balance between maintaining a vision of your goals and immersing yourself in present action. This balance prevents overwhelm, reduces frustration, and helps you stay consistent, all while allowing you to fully experience the process of growth and learning. Understanding the goal-action balance. Sterner highlights that goals are vital. They give us something to aim for, provide structure, and keep us motivated. However, he cautions against over-fixating on these outcomes. When we are too focused on the goal, several problems arise. Impatience. The journey feels long and arduous because the goal seems far away. Frustration. Any deviation or delay can feel like a failure. Missed growth opportunities. By focusing solely on the destination, we fail to appreciate the small wins and lessons along the way. On the other hand, Sterner suggests that engaging fully in the present action ensures you take steady steps toward your goal while fostering a sense of fulfillment and growth in the moment. Sterner shares the story of a piano student who wanted to master a difficult piece. The student's ultimate goal was to perform the piece flawlessly, but initially, the gap between their current skill level and the desired outcome seemed insurmountable. Instead of obsessing over the final performance, the student learned to focus on smaller tasks, perfecting one bar of music, mastering hand coordination, and improving tempo control. By breaking the goal into manageable chunks and immersing themselves in each step, they not only improved their skills, but also found joy in the process. The key takeaway here is to keep the goal in mind, but give full attention to the present action. This approach leads to progress without the pressure and stress of constantly comparing yourself to the end result. How to balance goals and present action. 1. Set clear, achievable goals. Your goal should provide direction, but not overwhelm you. For instance, if your long-term goal is to run a marathon, start by setting smaller milestones like running 5 kilometers, then 10, and so on. These incremental goals make the journey more manageable and rewarding. 2. Focus on the next action. Instead of fixating on the entire journey, focus on what you need to do right now. Sterner explains that progress is the sum of consistent small actions. By concentrating on the task at hand, you ensure steady improvement without unnecessary stress. 3. Reframe the goal as a guideline. Stirner advises viewing goals as guidelines rather than strict endpoints. This mindset reduces the pressure to achieve perfection and allows for flexibility and adjustments. 4. Celebrate small wins. Every small step is progress. Acknowledge and celebrate these milestones to stay motivated. For example, if you're learning a new language, celebrate mastering 10 new words rather than worrying about fluency. 5. Trust the process. Progress may not always be visible, especially in the beginning. Trust that every action you take is contributing to your growth, even if results aren't immediately apparent. Real-life applications of the goal-action balance fitness goals. Many people set ambitious fitness goals, such as losing 20 kilograms or running a marathon. While the goal provides direction, the real progress happens in daily actions, completing a workout, eating a balanced meal, or getting enough rest. Instead of obsessing over the scale or the final race, focusing on these daily habits creates sustainable change. Academic goals. A student preparing for a competitive exam might feel overwhelmed by the volume of material to cover. Instead of worrying about the final result, they can focus on completing one chapter, solving a set of problems, or reviewing key concepts each day. This approach reduces stress and ensures consistent progress. Career goals. Consider someone aiming for a promotion. If they focus solely on the title or salary, they might overlook opportunities for skill development or meaningful contributions in their current role. By balancing the long-term goal with present action, taking on challenging projects, building relationships, and learning new skills, they set themselves up for success without undue stress. Challenges in balancing goals and action. Stirner acknowledges that maintaining this balance can be difficult, especially in a results-driven society. Common challenges include overthinking the goal. Constantly worrying about whether you'll achieve your goal creates anxiety and distracts you from the present. Perfectionism. The desire for perfect results can paralyze action and lead to procrastination. Comparisons. Measuring your progress against others can make you feel inadequate, even if you're making steady improvements. To overcome these challenges, Stirner recommends practicing mindfulness. By anchoring yourself in the present moment, you can reduce anxiety about the future and focus on actionable steps. Mindfulness and the goal-action balance. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in achieving this balance. It helps you stay fully present in your actions while maintaining awareness of your overall direction. Stirner explains that mindfulness prevents your thoughts from drifting toward the future or dwelling on the past. For example, a mindful approach to cooking a meal involves enjoying the process of chopping vegetables, blending spices, and plating the dish, rather than worrying about how it will taste or what others will think. This same principle applies to any goal, be it professional, personal, or creative. The rewards of balancing goals and actions. When you balance goals with present action, several positive outcomes emerge. Reduced stress. You focus on what you can control, the present, rather than worrying about the future. Improved performance. Giving full attention to your actions enhances the quality of your work. Sustained motivation. Celebrating small wins keeps you motivated for the long haul. Personal growth. The journey becomes as rewarding as the destination, fostering continuous learning and self-improvement. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. The summit represents your goal, but the climb itself is where growth happens. If you focus only on reaching the top, you might miss the beauty of the trail, the lessons from overcoming obstacles, and the strength you build along the way. By balancing your focus between the summit and the next step, you ensure steady progress while fully experiencing the journey. Balancing goals and present action is about finding harmony between vision and execution. Goals provide direction, but the present moment is where life unfolds. As Stirner wisely points out, success isn't just about achieving the goal, it's about who you become in the process. By practicing this balance, you can reduce stress, stay motivated, and experience fulfillment every step of the way. So set your sights on the horizon, but don't forget to enjoy the steps that lead you there. Learning 11. Redefine success. In The Practicing Mind, Thomas M. Stirner challenges the conventional definition of success, shifting the focus from achieving a specific goal to embracing personal growth and the learning process. He argues that true success isn't just about reaching a destination, but about who you become along the way. By redefining success, you free yourself from the pressure of perfection and begin to see value in the journey itself. This principle is deeply rooted in the idea that personal development, resilience, and mastery come not from the achievement itself, but from the effort, patience, and discipline that lead to it. The conventional view of success. Most people equate success with outcomes: winning a competition, getting a promotion, achieving a personal milestone. While these outcomes are important, Stirner explains that this perspective often leads to stress and anxiety. The fear of failure can overshadow the excitement of trying. Short-lived satisfaction. Once a goal is achieved, the joy fades, and a new goal takes its place. Neglecting growth. By focusing solely on the destination, you miss out on the lessons and experiences along the way. Instead, Stirner redefines success as continuous progress, self-improvement, and the ability to stay present in the process. Success as growth. Success, according to Stirner, is about becoming a better version of yourself. It's not about what you achieve, but about how you evolve during the journey. For example, if you're learning a musical instrument, success isn't playing a piece flawlessly. It's the discipline and creativity you develop in practice. In fitness, success isn't just losing weight, but building a sustainable lifestyle that makes you healthier and more confident. This shift in mindset allows you to enjoy the process, celebrate small wins, and grow from setbacks. Stirner shares an example of a golfer working on their swing. The golfer was frustrated because they couldn't achieve a perfect swing immediately. However, by redefining success, they began to focus on small improvements: the correct grip, smoother movements, and better alignment. Over time, these incremental changes added up to significant progress. The golfer realized that the journey of mastering each aspect of the swing was more fulfilling than hitting a perfect shot. By valuing the learning process, they transformed frustration into enjoyment and growth. Practical steps to redefine success. 1. Shift your perspective. Instead of viewing success as a single event or outcome, see it as a continuous process. For instance, success in writing a book isn't publishing it. It's the daily practice of writing, revising, and improving your craft. Success in parenting isn't raising a perfect child. It's learning, adapting, and growing alongside them. 2. Celebrate small wins. Stirner emphasizes the importance of recognizing incremental progress. These small victories build momentum and keep you motivated. Example: a student preparing for an exam might celebrate mastering a difficult concept instead of waiting to feel accomplished after the final results. 3. Detach from results. While goals provide direction, Don't tie your self-worth to their achievement. Instead, focus on the effort and consistency you bring to the table. 4. Find joy in the process. Engage fully in each step of the journey, whether it's learning a skill, improving a habit, or pursuing a dream. Immerse yourself in the present moment. 5. Redefine failures. Failures are not the opposite of success. They're a part of it. Each setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Real-life applications of redefining success. Professional life. Imagine someone starting a business. If they measure success only by profits, they might feel like a failure during the initial stages. But if they redefine success as gaining experience, building a network, and learning from challenges, every step becomes valuable, regardless of immediate outcomes. Learning a language. For a person learning a new language, success isn't about fluency from day one. It's about consistently practicing, improving vocabulary, and being able to communicate basic ideas. Fitness journey. Instead of obsessing over a specific number on the scale, redefine success as showing up for your workouts, eating healthily, and feeling more energetic. Challenges in redefining success. Stirner acknowledges that redefining success can be challenging in a society that celebrates outcomes over processes. Common obstacles include comparisons. Measuring your progress against others can undermine your sense of success. Cultural expectations. Societal norms often prioritize achievements, making it harder to value personal growth. Impatience. The desire for immediate results can distract you from the journey. To overcome these challenges, Stirner recommends cultivating mindfulness and self-awareness. By staying present, you can appreciate the process and resist the urge to compare or rush. The role of mindfulness in redefining success. Mindfulness helps you shift focus from external validation to internal fulfillment. When you're mindful, you notice and appreciate small improvements. Detach from the pressure of outcomes. Stay engaged in the present moment. For example, a potter shaping a clay vase can find success not in the finished product, but in the rhythm of their hands, the feel of the clay, and the gradual transformation of their work. Benefits of redefining success. Reduced stress. You no longer feel pressured to achieve perfection. Increased motivation. Celebrating progress keeps you inspired. Enhanced resilience. Viewing setbacks as part of the journey helps you bounce back faster. Greater fulfillment. You find joy in the act of learning and growing, not just in reaching the goal. Imagine training for a marathon. If you define success solely as crossing the finish line, the months of preparation may feel tedious. But if you redefine success as becoming more disciplined, improving your stamina, and enjoying the meditative rhythm of running, the entire journey becomes rewarding. Even if you don't complete the race, you've already succeeded by growing as a runner. Thomas M. Stirner's message in The Practicing Mind is clear. Success is not a destination, but a way of being. It's about showing up, putting in the effort, and allowing yourself to grow through the process. By redefining success, you free yourself from the constraints of societal expectations and embrace a more fulfilling and meaningful approach to life. Remember, the journey shapes you into the person you're meant to become. Learning 12. Build mental resilience. In The Practicing Mind, Thomas M. Stirner emphasizes the importance of mental resilience as a cornerstone of personal growth and success. Mental resilience is the ability to adapt to challenges, stay focused under pressure, and bounce back from setbacks with renewed determination. Stirner argues that resilience isn't something you're born with. It's a skill you cultivate by mastering your thoughts and embracing the process of growth. When you develop mental resilience, obstacles become opportunities and frustrations turn into fuel for improvement. It's about maintaining inner calm and clarity, even when external circumstances feel overwhelming. Understanding mental resilience. Resilience doesn't mean avoiding challenges or suppressing emotions. Instead, it's about facing challenges head on, accepting that setbacks are a natural part of any journey. Maintaining focus, staying committed to your goals despite distractions or difficulties. Adapting to change, adjusting your approach when things don't go as planned. Stirner explains that resilience is deeply tied to your mindset. If you see difficulties as opportunities to grow, you'll approach them with curiosity and determination rather than fear or frustration. The role of mental resilience in practice. Stirner shares a story about his experience as a piano tuner. When he first started, he struggled with the precise and meticulous nature of the job. Every mistake felt like a personal failure, and the pressure to perform perfectly was overwhelming. However, over time, he learned to embrace the challenges of the process. By focusing on the act of tuning, rather than the result, he developed patience and resilience. This shift in mindset allowed him to remain calm and focused, even when faced with complex or demanding tasks. The lesson? Resilience is built through practice and the willingness to engage fully with the present moment. Strategies to build mental resilience. 1. Shift your perspective. Challenges are not barriers, they're stepping stones. When you encounter a difficulty, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this situation make me stronger? Real-life example. A student preparing for a competitive exam might feel discouraged after a poor mock test performance. Instead of giving up, they can view the result as feedback to identify weak areas and refine their strategy. 2. Focus on what you can control. Stirner advises focusing on your effort and mindset rather than external outcomes. You can't control every situation, but you can control how you respond to it. Real-life example. Imagine a tennis player facing a tough opponent. Instead of obsessing over winning, they focus on mastering their shots, maintaining composure, and executing their strategy. This shift in focus from the outcome to the process helps them stay resilient, regardless of the match's result. 3. Practice self-discipline. Mental resilience requires consistent practice. Stirner explains that training your mind to stay present and calm during stressful moments strengthens your ability to handle future challenges. Real life. Example. Consider someone trying to learn a new language. Initially, the complexity of grammar and pronunciation might feel overwhelming. By practicing regularly and staying disciplined, they train their mind to focus on incremental progress rather than the daunting goal of fluency. 4. Embrace discomfort as growth. Stirner points out that discomfort is a natural part of growth. Instead of avoiding it, embrace it as a sign that you're pushing your boundaries. The more you expose yourself to challenges, the stronger your mental resilience becomes. Real-life example. A novice runner training for a marathon experiences physical and mental discomfort during long runs. Each time they push through the discomfort, they build stamina and mental toughness, making the next run slightly easier. 5. Cultivate patience. Resilience and patience go hand in hand. Stirner emphasizes the importance of giving yourself time to grow and improve. Rushing the process only leads to frustration and burnout. Real-life example. A painter working on a detailed piece might feel tempted to rush through intricate sections. By practicing patience and focusing on one brushstroke at a time, they not only produce better work, but also develop a calm, resilient mindset. Overcoming emotional reactions. Stirner also discusses the role of emotional control in building resilience. Frustration, impatience, and self-doubt can derail progress if left unchecked. To counteract these emotions, Stirner suggests taking a pause. When emotions rise, step back, take a deep breath, and refocus on the present moment. Reframing negative thoughts. Replace self-defeating thoughts like, "I'll never get this right," with empowering ones like, "I'm making progress with every attempt." Real-life example. An entrepreneur facing rejection from investors might initially feel discouraged. By pausing, reflecting on their progress, and adjusting their pitch, they can approach the next meeting with renewed confidence and focus. Visualization as a tool for resilience. Visualization is another key practice Stirner highlights. By mentally rehearsing challenges and envisioning yourself overcoming them, you prepare your mind to handle real-life difficulties with grace. Real-life example. A musician about to perform in front of a large audience can visualize themselves playing each note with confidence. This mental preparation reduces anxiety and boosts their ability to perform under pressure. The long-term benefits of mental resilience. Building mental resilience isn't just about overcoming individual challenges. It transforms the way you approach life. Resilience helps you maintain inner peace. Even in the face of uncertainty, you stay grounded and focused. Achieve consistent growth. With each challenge you overcome, you develop greater confidence and skills. Inspire others. Your ability to handle adversity can motivate those around you to adopt a similar mindset. Stirner's practical advice for cultivating resilience. Stirner offers practical steps to incorporate resilience building into your daily life. Start small. Focus on manageable challenges and gradually increase difficulty as your resilience grows. Set clear intentions. Define what you want to achieve and break it into smaller, actionable steps. Practice daily reflection. Spend a few minutes each day reflecting on your progress and identifying areas for improvement. Celebrate progress. Acknowledge and celebrate your small victories along the way. As Stirner emphasizes, resilience is not about avoiding difficulties, but learning to thrive in the midst of them. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable, but with mental resilience, you can navigate them with confidence, clarity, and purpose. Building mental resilience is a lifelong journey, but it's one of the most valuable skills you can cultivate. By embracing challenges, practicing patience, and focusing on what you can control, you develop the inner strength to face any situation with grace. Take a moment to reflect. What challenges are you currently facing, and how can you use them to grow stronger? By adopting the principles from the practicing mind, you can turn every setback into a stepping stone toward your goals. Remember, resilience isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. Keep practicing, keep growing, and trust that the journey is shaping you into the best version of yourself. Learning 13. Develop a systematic approach to learning. In The Practicing Mind, Thomas M. Stirner emphasizes the importance of creating a structured and systematic approach to learning. Rather than relying on bursts of motivation or sporadic efforts, a well-organized plan ensures steady and predictable progress. This approach not only reduces stress, but also instills confidence and consistency in the learner. Key principles of a systematic approach. Break down goals into manageable steps. Stirner highlights the importance of dividing large goals into smaller, achievable tasks. Tackling a daunting challenge all at once can be overwhelming, but focusing on smaller steps makes the process more approachable. Stirner compares this to learning a piece of music on the piano. Instead of trying to perfect the entire composition at once, focus on mastering a few bars of music. Once those are fluid, move to the next section. This systematic approach not only reduces frustration, but also builds confidence with each completed step. Establish consistent habits. Consistency is at the heart of any successful learning system. Stirner advises setting aside specific times each day to practice or work on your goals. A routine not only builds momentum, but also eliminates the need to rely on fleeting motivation. Imagine preparing for a marathon. Instead of running long distances inconsistently, a systematic training plan with incremental increases in distance over weeks ensures that the body and mind adapt gradually. This steady progress reduces the risk of burnout or injury. Measure progress. Regularly tracking. Progress is essential for staying motivated and ensuring that efforts align with goals. Stirner suggests keeping a journal or log to record achievements, challenges, and insights. Seeing tangible results reinforces commitment and highlights areas needing improvement. Stirner recalls working with musicians who kept a practice journal. By documenting daily practice routines, they could identify patterns, track improvement, and make adjustments to their learning process. Over time, these small adjustments led to significant breakthroughs. Emphasize quality over quantity. A systematic approach prioritizes focused and mindful practice over sheer volume. Stirner argues that an hour of fully engaged, intentional practice is far more effective than several hours of distracted effort. Consider a student preparing for an exam. Instead of cramming for hours, they allocate shorter, focused study sessions with regular breaks. This method enhances retention and prevents mental fatigue. Adapt and evolve the system. A good learning system isn't rigid. It evolves based on progress and feedback. Stirner stresses the importance of evaluating your approach periodically and making necessary adjustments. This flexibility ensures that the system remains effective as goals and circumstances change. Example from the book. A golfer refining their swing might start with basic drills, but adjust their practice routine as their technique improves. This adaptability ensures continuous growth without stagnation. Why a systematic approach works. Reduces overwhelm. A structured plan breaks down seemingly insurmountable tasks into manageable pieces, making the journey less intimidating. Builds momentum. Consistent small efforts compound over time, creating steady progress without the need for drastic measures. Increases confidence. Tracking progress and celebrating small wins instills a sense of achievement, motivating further effort. Minimizes stress. Having a clear roadmap eliminates uncertainty and ensures that every step contributes meaningfully to the larger goal. Steps to create your systematic approach. Define your goal. Be specific about what you want to achieve. For example, instead of saying, "I want to get fit," set a goal like, "I want to run a 5K in under 30 minutes." Break it down. Divide the goal into smaller milestones. For the 5K goal, milestones could include running 1K without stopping, increasing speed gradually, and completing a trial run. Set a routine. Schedule regular practice sessions. Consistency is key to building habits and making progress. Track progress. Keep a log or journal to document each step. Reflect on what worked, what didn't, and what adjustments are needed. Celebrate milestones. Acknowledge achievements no matter how small. This reinforces positive behavior and keeps you motivated. Adapt as needed. Regularly assess your system. If something isn't working, modify your approach to better suit your needs. challenges, and how to overcome them. Lack of motivation. Even with a system, there will be days when motivation wanes. Stirner advises focusing on discipline rather than motivation. Show up even when you don't feel like it. Consistency will eventually reignite motivation. Real-life example. A writer struggling with writer's block might commit to writing 200 words daily, regardless of quality. Over time, this routine sparks creativity, and the words flow more naturally. Fear of failure. Fear can paralyze progress, especially when starting something new. Stirner encourages embracing failure as a natural part of growth. A systematic approach minimizes fear by focusing on incremental progress rather than perfection. Impatience. Many abandon their goals because results aren't immediate. Stirner reminds us to trust the process and be patient. Mastery takes time, and each small effort contributes to the larger goal. Learning a musical instrument. A beginner guitarist struggling with chord transitions adopts a systematic approach, practicing one chord at a time, then transitioning between two, and gradually building speed. Within weeks, they play their first song with ease. Weight loss journey. Instead of drastic dieting, an individual creates a system involving small dietary changes, regular exercise, and weekly progress tracking. This sustainable approach leads to consistent weight loss and long-term health benefits. Career advancement. An employee aiming for a promotion systematically develops new skills, seeks mentorship, and tracks achievements in their role. Over time, their efforts are recognized, and they secure the promotion. The transformative power of a systematic approach. A systematic approach to learning not only helps achieve specific goals, but also transforms the way you approach life. It instills discipline, resilience, and a growth mindset. By focusing on the process rather than the outcome, you build habits that ensure long-term success. Thomas M. Stirner's insight into the power of a systematic approach is a game changer. Whether you're learning a skill, pursuing a passion, or working toward personal growth, having a structured plan can make all the difference. Remember, success isn't about giant leaps. It's about consistent, purposeful steps taken over time. Embrace the system, trust the process, and watch yourself grow beyond your expectations. Learning 14. Recognize the value of each moment. In The Practicing Mind, Thomas M. Stirner stresses the importance of recognizing and appreciating the value of each moment. He argues that every second spent in practice, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, contributes to long-term mastery. When we are fully present in each moment, we unlock the potential for growth, learning, and fulfillment. This principle serves as a powerful reminder to focus on the journey rather than being fixated on the destination. Understanding the value of the present moment. The present moment is all we truly have. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. When you learn to anchor yourself in the present, you maximize your ability to grow and succeed. Stirner emphasizes that each moment spent in practice or effort is an investment in your skills and personal development. Example from the book. Stirner recalls teaching himself to tune pianos, a task that requires immense precision and patience. Instead of rushing to complete the job, he focused on every keystroke and adjustment, understanding that each step was a vital part of the process. By valuing each moment, he not only improved his skills, but also found joy in the task. Why we overlook the present moment. Goal-oriented mindset. Modern society often glorifies results over processes. We're taught to focus on achieving milestones, which can make the present feel like an obstacle rather than an opportunity. Impatience. Many of us want immediate results and get frustrated when progress feels slow. This impatience causes us to overlook the incremental growth happening in each moment. Distractions. In the age of technology, our minds are constantly pulled in multiple directions. This makes it difficult to fully engage with what we're doing right now. How to recognize and appreciate each moment. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present in the current moment. Stirner encourages readers to pay attention to their thoughts, feelings, and actions without judgment. A chef preparing a dish can approach the task mindlessly, rushing through chopping vegetables and seasoning. Alternatively, they can savor each step, feeling the knife in their hand, smelling the spices, and enjoying the process of creation. The latter approach not only enhances the experience, but also improves the quality of the dish. Shift your perspective. Instead of viewing each moment as a means to an end, see it as an opportunity to grow and improve. Every repetition, no matter how small, brings you closer to mastery. When Stirner was learning to play the piano, he realized that practicing scales wasn't just a mundane task. It was the foundation for more complex pieces. By valuing each scale practice, he transformed a seemingly boring activity into a rewarding experience. Set micro goals. Breaking larger tasks into smaller, manageable steps helps you stay focused and engaged. When you achieve these micro goals, you feel a sense of accomplishment, reinforcing the importance of each moment. A writer working on a novel can focus on writing 1 page a day. Instead of worrying about the entire book, they appreciate the effort put into crafting each page, knowing it contributes to the larger narrative. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledging progress, no matter how minor, helps you stay motivated and connected to the present. Celebrate each completed task as a victory. A fitness enthusiast tracking their daily steps might celebrate hitting 10,000 steps in a day. This small milestone keeps them focused and motivated to continue their journey toward better health. The power of present moment awareness. Improves focus. When you concentrate on the task at hand, you reduce distractions and enhance the quality of your work. Reduces stress. Worrying about the future or regretting the past can create unnecessary anxiety. Being present helps you stay calm and grounded. Increases joy. Finding fulfillment in the present makes the journey enjoyable, not just the destination. Boosts learning. Engaging fully in each moment maximizes your ability to absorb and retain information. Challenges in staying present. Mind wandering. It's natural for the mind to drift. The key is to gently redirect your focus back to the task at hand. Solution. Use simple mindfulness techniques, such as focusing on your breath or repeating a mantra, to anchor yourself in the present. Frustration with slow progress. When progress feels slow, it's easy to lose patience and disengage. Solution. Remind yourself that every moment of effort, no matter how small, is a step forward. Celebrate the journey, not just the outcome. Athletes. A sprinter preparing for a race might spend months perfecting their form, stride, and breathing. Each training session, no matter how repetitive, is a building block for peak performance on race day. Artists. A painter working on a masterpiece invests hours in layering colors and refining details. By valuing each brushstroke, they create art that reflects their dedication and passion. Students. A student studying for exams might initially feel overwhelmed by the material. Breaking it into small study sessions and focusing on one topic at a time makes the process more manageable and rewarding. How this learning transforms your life. enhances productivity. By staying present, you complete tasks more efficiently and with greater accuracy. Fosters patience. Recognizing the value of each moment helps you develop patience and trust in the process. Builds resilience. When you appreciate the present, setbacks feel less discouraging because you're focused on learning and growth. Creates lasting fulfillment. Joy comes from fully engaging with the journey, not just achieving the destination. Recognizing the value of each moment is one of the most transformative principles in the practicing mind. It teaches us to shift our focus from external outcomes to the internal experience of growth and learning. By staying present, celebrating small wins, and appreciating each step of the journey, we not only achieve our goals, but also find joy and fulfillment along the way. So, take a deep breath, ground yourself in the now, and remember, every moment matters. Every second you invest in practice is a step toward mastery and a life lived fully. Learning 15. Use visualization for growth. In the practicing mind, one of the key learnings that Thomas M. Sterner presents is the power of visualization. Visualization is often considered a technique used by athletes, musicians, and performers to improve their performance. However, it is far more than just imagining success or victory. Visualization, when used correctly, can be a powerful tool for improving practice, building confidence, and enhancing learning. Sterner emphasizes that visualization is not just about imagining the end result, but focusing on the process of performing the task in the most effective way. This powerful mental exercise can help individuals stay engaged in the process, sharpen their focus, and increase their sense of control during practice. The power of mental rehearsal visualization, as described by Sterner, is essentially a mental rehearsal. The concept here is to visualize not just the final outcome, but the actions, steps, and details that contribute to achieving that outcome. By vividly imagining yourself practicing and performing the task, you create a clear mental image of what success looks like. But more importantly, you mentally rehearse the specific steps it takes to get there. Example from the book. Sterner recalls his own experience in learning to play piano. At the early stages of his piano tuning work, he used visualization to mentally rehearse the motions involved in the task. Before actually tuning the piano, he would mentally visualize every step, how he would adjust the tuning pins, listen for changes in sound, and refine the tuning gradually. By visualizing these steps, he trained his mind to anticipate the actions and ensured that his physical performance was more efficient and effective. Engagement and focus, bringing clarity to the process. Visualization enhances the clarity of the process itself. When you can mentally rehearse the steps involved in achieving a goal, it allows you to refine your focus and reduce the distractions that often hinder progress. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the task ahead, breaking it down through visualization allows you to zoom in on what is necessary, making it easier to stay present and engaged. Sterner points out that most people tend to focus too much on the big picture and the end result, such as finishing a project or completing a task. However, visualization encourages you to focus on each individual step, refining your awareness of what needs to be done next. By doing so, you not only improve your practice, but also become more mindful of the process. Visualization builds confidence and reduces anxiety. One of the most significant benefits of visualization, according to Sterner, is its ability to reduce anxiety and build confidence. When you visualize the process of practicing or performing, it creates a mental roadmap that makes the task feel less intimidating. It prepares your mind for success, thus eliminating fear of failure and self-doubt. When athletes, musicians, or anyone practicing a skill visualize their actions, they essentially simulate the experience in their minds. This mental practice helps them feel more prepared, confident, and comfortable when it comes time to actually perform. Over time, visualization can help reduce performance anxiety, increase self-assurance, and boost the individual's belief in their ability to execute the task successfully. Stirner mentions the example of professional athletes, especially sprinters, who visualize their race long before the competition. By picturing every step of their race, from the start to the finish line, they create a mental framework of success. This exercise reduces nervousness, enhances their focus, and ultimately improves their physical performance. In essence, they mentally rehearse winning, which empowers them to succeed when it counts. Improving performance. Through mental imaging, visualization is not just about thinking about the task. It is about imagining the correct way to do it. This mental imaging helps the practitioner to better align their thoughts with their actions. For instance, in musical practice, a pianist might mentally imagine the flow of the music before playing it. This helps them understand the tempo, tone, and dynamics, ultimately improving their performance when they sit down to play. Stirner discusses how, when you visualize correctly, you build the mental framework needed to perform. The brain doesn't differentiate between visualizing and actual practice in some aspects. The more you visualize your task, the more the neural pathways involved in that task strengthen. It's a type of brain exercise that makes you more adept at performing the action when you finally do it in real life. Visualization and emotional control. Visualization also plays a significant role in controlling emotions during the practice or performance. Many individuals face negative emotions such as frustration, stress, or self-doubt when working toward a goal. These emotions can hinder progress and make it difficult to focus. However, by incorporating visualization into practice, you can preemptively address these emotional challenges and develop the emotional resilience needed for consistent growth. When you visualize not just the task, but how you'll respond to challenges or setbacks, you mentally rehearse how to handle these emotions. This helps you stay calm under pressure and prevents frustration from interfering with your progress. You prepare your mind to face difficulties without being thrown off course. Stirner reflects on his own experiences of emotional setbacks while learning a new skill. At times, he would feel frustrated when the results weren't as perfect as he envisioned. However, through visualization, he would rehearse handling those emotions and redirecting his focus back to the process. This mental exercise helped him to stay calm and composed during the actual practice, which allowed him to avoid being overwhelmed by negative emotions. Practical ways to implement visualization. Stirner suggests incorporating visualization into your daily practice routine. To start, find a quiet space and take a few moments to relax and clear your mind. Begin to mentally walk through the task you're learning, paying attention to the specific steps involved. Visualize yourself performing each step with precision and success. Try to immerse yourself in the process. Imagine how it feels, what you see, and what you hear. As you become more comfortable with the process, try to visualize not just the task, but also how you'll handle potential setbacks or challenges. This can include managing frustration, staying calm, or refocusing when distractions arise. By continuously practicing visualization, you mentally strengthen your ability to handle the task and any obstacles that might come your way. In The Practicing Mind, Thomas M. Stirner demonstrates that visualization is not just a mental exercise, it's an essential tool for personal growth and mastery. By mentally rehearsing the steps involved in your practice, You increase your clarity, focus, and confidence. Visualization allows you to mentally prepare for success, reduce anxiety, and overcome obstacles along the way. It is not enough to simply dream of success. Through visualization, you begin to form a mental picture of your ideal process, which leads to improved performance and mastery over time. As Turner encourages, embrace visualization not just as a technique, but as an integral part of your practice. It is a powerful way to enhance your journey and refine your skills, one mental image at a time. Learning 16. Build emotional control. In The Practicing Mind, Thomas M. Sterner underscores the importance of emotional control in the process of learning and personal growth. Emotions are an integral part of the human experience, and while they can be motivating, they can also create significant barriers to progress when not properly managed. Emotional reactions such as frustration, impatience, and self-doubt often surface during practice, especially when results are slow or when setbacks occur. These emotions can cloud our judgment, disrupt focus, and undermine our efforts, making it harder to stay engaged with the process. Sterner explains that one of the keys to mastering any skill, whether it's a physical task like playing an instrument or a mental task like solving a complex problem, is the ability to maintain emotional composure. Emotional control is not about suppressing or ignoring emotions, but about recognizing them, understanding their impact, and learning to respond to them in a constructive way. It's about being able to stay calm and collected during moments of stress, frustration, or disappointment, and using those emotions to fuel your practice rather than derail it. Understanding the role of emotions in practice. In order to understand how to control emotions, it's important to recognize how they influence the practice process. Emotions are often triggered by our expectations, our experiences, and the way we perceive ourselves and our progress. When we set a goal and do not see immediate results, we may feel disappointed or frustrated. These emotions can create a sense of urgency or anxiety that hinders our ability to stay present in the moment. Instead of focusing on the task at hand, we start to focus on the outcome or on how we're failing to meet our expectations. Example from the book. Sterner recounts a moment when he was learning to play a difficult piece of music on the piano. As he struggled to master the piece, he felt a wave of frustration wash over him. He found himself getting angry with the piano, feeling as though he wasn't improving fast enough. In this emotional state, his practice became erratic, and he couldn't focus on the necessary steps to improve. Recognizing the negative impact of these emotions, Sterner had to consciously step back, acknowledge his frustration, and calm himself down in order to refocus on the process. This experience helped him realize that emotional control was a critical component of effective practice. Emotions as distractions. Why they can derail. Progress emotions, particularly negative ones, can serve as distractions. When you allow yourself to become consumed by frustration or impatience, your attention shifts away from the task itself. For example, if you're learning to play an instrument and you make a mistake, the natural reaction may be to feel bad about it or to worry about the outcome. This emotional reaction can quickly lead to a cycle of negative thinking, where the mistake becomes magnified and the focus shifts from the process of improving to the fear of failure. Sterner shares the example of a pianist who, after making several mistakes during practice, begins to feel disheartened and anxious. Rather than focusing on the individual steps needed to improve, the pianist's mind races with thoughts of failure and self-criticism. These thoughts only serve to increase the tension in the body, making it harder to focus on playing the piece correctly. The emotional reaction prevents the pianist from engaging fully in the process, slowing down progress and reducing the quality of the practice. Emotions as distractions. Why they can derail. Progress emotions, particularly negative ones, can serve as distractions. When you allow yourself to become consumed by frustration or impatience, your attention shifts away from the task itself. For example, if you're learning to play an instrument and you make a mistake, the natural reaction may be to feel bad about it or to worry about the outcome. This emotional reaction can quickly lead to a cycle of negative thinking, where the mistake becomes magnified, and the focus shifts from the process of improving to the fear of failure. The importance of self-awareness in managing emotions. Building emotional control starts with self-awareness. According to Stirner, the first step in managing emotions is recognizing when they arise and understanding the impact they have on your thoughts and actions. Emotions are not inherently bad. They are simply signals that give us information about our environment or our internal state. However, if we react impulsively to those emotions without taking the time to understand them, they can undermine our practice. To build emotional control, you must learn to observe your emotions without judgment. When you experience frustration, disappointment, or impatience, acknowledge the feeling, but avoid letting it take over your mental state. By developing the habit of observing your emotions in real time, you create space between the emotion and your response, giving you the opportunity to choose a more productive reaction. Stirner talks about a time when he was practicing the art of tuning pianos, and a mistake he made led him to feel frustrated and defeated. However, instead of reacting impulsively, he took a step back and acknowledged his frustration. By simply naming the emotion, "I feel frustrated right now," he was able to separate himself from it. This act of self-awareness allowed him to refocus on the task at hand and re-engage with the process of practice. Techniques for managing emotional responses. There are several practical techniques that Stirner suggests to manage emotional responses during practice. One effective technique is deep breathing, which helps to calm the nervous system and reduce emotional intensity. When emotions like frustration or anxiety arise, taking a few deep breaths can help bring the mind back to a state of calmness and clarity. Deep breathing not only slows down the physiological effects of emotional arousal, but also creates a mental pause, giving you the opportunity to redirect your focus. Another useful technique is mindfulness, which involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Mindfulness helps you become aware of your emotional state without allowing it to control your thoughts or actions. By practicing mindfulness during your practice, you can stay anchored in the present and reduce the emotional distractions that can interfere with progress. Stirner describes how, during moments of emotional overwhelm, he would use deep breathing exercises to calm his mind. By inhaling deeply, holding his breath, and exhaling slowly, he created a brief pause that allowed him to refocus on the task at hand. This practice of slowing down helped him regain control over his emotions and continue practicing with a clear and focused mind. Turning negative emotions into opportunities for growth. Rather than viewing negative emotions as obstacles, Stirner encourages us to view them as opportunities for growth. Every moment of frustration or disappointment is an opportunity to learn how to stay calm, refocus, and continue progressing. Emotions are not barriers to success. They are part of the process. By learning how to handle them effectively, you strengthen your emotional resilience and become more adept at managing challenges. Stirner recalls an instance when he was tuning a piano and encountered a difficult challenge. Instead of allowing his frustration to escalate, he took a moment to reflect on the challenge and asked himself, what can I learn from this? By viewing the frustration as a learning opportunity, he not only improved his technical skills, but also grew emotionally, developing a stronger sense of patience and self-control. Emotional control is an ongoing practice, just like any other skill. It requires self-awareness, mindfulness, and the willingness to remain present despite the emotions that arise. By mastering emotional control, you enhance your ability to stay focused, reduce stress, and improve the quality of your practice. Stirner's teachings remind us that emotions do not have to control us. Rather, we can learn to manage them and use them to fuel our growth. Emotional control is not a destination, but a continuous practice. And by mastering it, we can ensure that our journey toward mastery is not only effective, but also fulfilling. Learning 17. Enjoy the journey. One of the most profound teachings in the practicing mind is the idea that the ultimate reward of any endeavor isn't the destination or the goal achieved, but the journey itself. In today's fast-paced world, many people are conditioned to chase outcomes, whether it's achieving success at work, learning a new skill, or completing a long-term project. We often find ourselves fixated on the end result, imagining that happiness, satisfaction, or fulfillment will come once we arrive at our goal. However, Thomas M. Stirner, in his book, The Practicing Mind, offers a refreshing perspective. The true joy comes from engaging fully in the process of practice. Stirner's core message is clear. When we focus solely on the end result, we miss the valuable experiences and personal growth that occur in the present moment. He explains that true mastery is not about attaining a goal, but about the transformation that takes place as we grow and develop in the process. This mindset shift is what allows us to enjoy the act of learning, practicing, and growing, rather than viewing it as a means to an end. The problem with goal fixation. The desire to achieve goals is not inherently bad. In fact, setting goals provides direction, purpose, and motivation. However, when we become overly fixated on achieving a specific outcome, we risk losing sight of the richness of the journey itself. Stirner notes that this fixation on the result can lead to frustration, disappointment, and stress, particularly when progress doesn't meet our expectations or when the goal seems far out of reach. The obsession with outcomes can overshadow the enjoyment and satisfaction of simply engaging with the task at hand. In the book, Stirner provides an insightful analogy to illustrate this concept. He compares the process of learning to climbing a mountain. While the summit may be the ultimate goal, the journey up the mountain, every step, every challenge, every view along the way, is what shapes and transforms you. If your only focus is the summit, you might miss the beauty and significance of the climb itself. Similarly, when we focus exclusively on the destination, we neglect the daily experiences, growth, and lessons that make the journey meaningful. Stirner shares his own personal experience of learning to play the piano. Early in his practice, he became so fixated on achieving a certain level of skill or mastering a particular piece that he failed to appreciate the small steps of progress he was making. He would often feel frustrated when he didn't see immediate results or when the piece seemed too difficult to master. However, as he continued to practice and shift his mindset, he realized that the true reward was not in playing a flawless piece, but in the joy and satisfaction of playing, learning, and growing every day. This change in perspective allowed Stirner to start enjoying the process rather than dreading the goal. He no longer saw mistakes or challenges as failures, but as integral parts of the learning journey. Instead of rushing to the finish line, he began to savor each moment of the process, appreciating every new skill learned and every improvement made. The importance of presence in the journey. The key to enjoying the journey lies in being fully present in each moment. In his book, Stirner emphasizes that mindfulness, the practice of paying full attention to the present moment without judgment, is essential for enjoying the process of practice. When we are present, we are not distracted by worries about the future or regrets about the past. Instead, we immerse ourselves in the task at hand. This presence allows us to experience the richness of the process and find joy in even the most mundane aspects of learning or practicing. By focusing on the present, we create space for enjoyment, curiosity, and fulfillment. The process itself becomes a source of satisfaction, not just the end result. Stirner argues that this is the secret to developing a deep connection with whatever you're learning, whether it's a hobby, a skill, or a personal goal. When we are fully engaged in the moment, the practice itself becomes the reward. Stirner gives the example of a person learning to ride a bicycle. At first, the learner may be focused on reaching a certain level of proficiency, such as riding without falling. However, by focusing only on the goal, they may miss out on the enjoyment of the experience, the feeling of the wind on their face, the excitement of learning something new, and the thrill of making small improvements along the way. By allowing themselves to enjoy the process, they discover that learning to ride the bike is just as fulfilling as mastering it. This principle can be applied to any area of life. Whether you're training for a marathon, learning a new language, or working on a creative project, the journey itself holds immense value. When we enjoy the journey, the process of learning becomes less about achieving a particular outcome and more about discovering new things, experiencing growth, and enjoying the challenge. Shifting from result-oriented to process-oriented thinking. One of the most transformative shifts that Stirner suggests is moving from a result-oriented mindset to a process-oriented one. When we focus on the process, we embrace each step of the journey as an opportunity to learn and grow. We stop measuring our worth or success by the speed at which we reach our goals, and instead start measuring it by how much effort, focus, and joy we put into the process itself. Stirner encourages us to redefine success. Instead of success being defined by the completion of a task or the achievement of a goal, success becomes about the continuous engagement in the process. This shift allows us to detach our sense of self-worth from outcomes and embrace the idea that every moment of practice, no matter how small, is an accomplishment in itself. The practice, in and of itself, becomes the success. Stirner provides the example of a writer who is working on a novel. If the writer is constantly obsessed with finishing the book, they may find themselves overwhelmed by the enormity of the task. Instead, if the writer shifts their focus to simply enjoying the act of writing every day, appreciating the flow of ideas, the creativity involved, and the joy of putting words on paper, then the process becomes its own reward. The writer no longer measures success by the completion of the novel, but by the daily act of writing itself. Embracing the joy of practice. The central message of the practicing mind is that mastery is not a destination, but a lifelong journey. Whether you're learning a new skill, improving at work, or striving for personal growth, it's important to remember that the true satisfaction comes from the journey, not just the outcome. By shifting our focus from results to the process, we can find joy and fulfillment in each step of the journey, no matter how small. Enjoying the journey doesn't mean that challenges or setbacks won't arise. It means that we learn to embrace them as part of the process, seeing them as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to our success. By letting go of the need for instant results and embracing the process with patience and mindfulness, we unlock the true power of practice and discover the joy in learning, growing, and becoming better. Stirner's wisdom encourages us to savor the journey, to enjoy the act of practicing, and to find fulfillment in the process rather than the destination. This mindset shift not only makes the journey more enjoyable, but also leads to deeper growth, greater satisfaction, and a more meaningful path to mastery. To sum it all up, the journey is where the true magic happens. It's not the destination, the final achievement, or the end result that defines success. It's the process, the small steps, and the growth we experience along the way. So next time you feel frustrated or impatient, remember, enjoy the practice, embrace the process, and trust that the journey itself is the reward. If you found value in today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Book Navigator for more insights like this. Keep practicing, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, enjoy the journey.